Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Mitch Moss along with Pauly Howard. Good Wednesday afternoon. We are live in downtown Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. 3-hour banger lined up today. Jeff Sealey on the program. Best Bets Wyndham Championship. He could not make the program last week due to travel. He did nail Jackson Koivin 2 weeks ago at the 3M. We'll see if he is back on the horse this week with the young stud at the Wyndham Championships. Mike Palm in studio in an hour and 15 minutes. You told me a story. I don't want to name names here, Paulie. I don't know if you're going to or not, but we have a mutual friend who was recently here. He forgot. Mike is running. He's got a 1-hour speech tomorrow at Bet Bash, and he's going to talk about running a casino and sportsbook. Well, a mutual friend of ours left $20,000 cash in the safe when he bailed to go to the East Coast the other day.
Yes.
Oops.
He looks, what's a 702 number? And it's Circa Security. You go, wouldn't you believe it? And he goes, he thought he dropped it out of his bag.
Is that right?
It's found money.
Oh, my God.
I already got that. He knows what he's going to tip, too. I mean, you want to talk about found money.
Oh, no question.
So that's fun to kick around what the tip is, too. But I wonder how many times that happens.
I was going to say, what is your guess right now? How many times, on week, do you think that happens? That has to happen several times every single week at almost every single casino.
I'm going to say 8 times a month here. Over under 7.5.
Okay. That's multiple times per week then.
They leave stuff in the safe.
No question about it. Totally forgot about it. Had too many drinks last night. It's like the same people who forgot that they put bets in when they come here for a big weekend. Oops, what did I do with that bet? Well, I lost it, but that's a winner. So good there.
They said, do you want us to send you a check? He goes, no, I'm going to come down and get the cash. Get away from the wife again.
So he's got to fly back out here to get it?
Yeah, well, he's looking forward to it. Yeah. That's how you do it.
Matt Euman's on the program a little bit later on as well. Best bets in college football at that time. We were going to start there today, but I think we have to me, I tweeted this out before the show started, a developing situation here, Paulie. In the National League, the Cubs are thumping the Dodgers again today. Score 6-1. They are currently 5.5 back of the Brewers. They are 65-49. They have a run differential right now of more than 100 if this score stands, which is one of the best in all of Major League Baseball. You did point out that the Cubs now, they have one of the most difficult schedules remaining, but they had a killer deadline, in my opinion. And here is what has really flipped now in the last 45 minutes. PCA has gone yard today, not once, but twice. He has 4 RBIs, I believe, and he has now flipped to the MVP favorite in the National League. And I can say this right now, that if Shohei Ohtani does not come back and pitch again this year, which is kind of still an unknown, but if he does not, PCA is going to win the award. He's going to take it down.
Yeah, well, you needed an injury and or something to happen to
him.
You did. And you got that.
Yep.
Where you're taking that big equation out of it, and one of the things he does best. And the other thing is that this is going to be 6 losses in a row. They had won 9 straight appearances with Lauer, and he had been so good. And now if this stands, they've lost 15 of their last 26. So great job by the Cubbies. The same game parlays. This is like the World Cup. With Messi, Howland, Kane to score.
Yep.
PCA and Ohtani both go deep in the first inning, and then PCA added another RBI double in the third. So they're opening up a can here on the Dodgers. And, you're doing a rollover, you're getting paid here too. And that was a nice return yesterday, even though Skubal was solid.
Yep.
But no run support again, and the Cubbies were plus 180, and they got there.
All right, so I want to point this out about betting Chicago Cubs futures. Again, after the deadline was over with on Monday, Adam Burke here at the network had a great breakdown on vsin.com with 3 recommended bets, one of which was Chicago to win the World Series at 15-1. I was shopping around last night. There was an 18-1 out there. There was also a 9-1 to win the National League. Others have made the case for the Cubs to win the division. That number is now slowly but surely moving. I know it was 4-1 the other day. I can't find higher than like plus 330 right now. But I'll go one deeper than that. If you believe, and if you're going to bet the Cubs to win the National League Central at that number, I firmly believe that you have to take a price then on the Cubs to be the 1 seed in the National League. Because I said yesterday, the Brewers are 5-1. Dodgers are currently reeling right now. That could flip. They could rattle off 10 of the next 11. Who knows? They're so talented. But I think there's a great case here for the Brewers to be the 1 seed, and they were 5-1. Well, if the Cubs somehow overtake the Brewers in the Central, they will 1,000% be in the mix late to have the 1 seed in the National League. And that has to be a bomb right now.
Well, or I don't mess around and just take the plus 320 in case Atlanta, is unbelievable.
I'm just taking
And they
a
keep the win
sprinkle.
streak. Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't go hog wild with it.
Sure. The other thing is, how good does Tampa look at minus 110 to win the division?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, are the Yankees really going to do this? They're going to get the broom out on Colorado. Great come from behind. Freddie had nothing. My God. To have a 1.23 ERA career at Coors in 5 starts, and he had nothing. But they get 2 in the 9th and win in extra innings, and Caminero went deep again. As this is just a great organization and a solid club.
Yep.
What they're doing. So I just don't see the Yankees catching them with 45 games left. And by the way, they have the number 1 home record in all of baseball.
Yeah. By the way, for the record, I have not gotten there with the Cubs either. Do you think they're going to overtake Milwaukee and win that division?
No, I don't. I think the schedule's too difficult.
So do I, and that's why I'm not going to play it. I'm just pointing it out. And by the way, you're spot on with the Rays. I mean, and we've been talking all year long about how, well, the American League completely stinks. It's completely, who do you trust here whatsoever? Maybe it comes down to the Rays and the Red Sox. And those 2 teams turn out to be, because if the Red Sox do continue this,
yes,
like for the rest of the year, well, then now we're talking about 4 months out of the season where they were an absolute machine. And so that could maybe carry over. Their bullpen has been incredible. It's only going to get better. Their offense again yesterday, that was a cheap number, as you pointed out. They took some money.
Same thing today.
I would agree.
Sonny Gray's $1.30.
He opened up, by the way, globally speaking, he was $1.15 last night. Now, he's taking on Burke today, and Burke has been red hot. In fact, he's been one of the better pitchers in baseball over this stretch. And the White Sox are a good story, but I laid 26 cents today with the Red Sox.
Yeah, good for you. It makes sense. And every number you throw at me with the Red Sox, you'd say, you're making that up. How about this one? They've won 11 in a row against division leaders. I mean,
wow.
Yes, I know. And they're 4-0 against the White Sox. They've outscored them 29-4. So it's just every day you look up, it's another staggering stat with this team.
I got another one for you
won
here.
29-34. The last time an American League team won 30-35 was Cleveland in 2017. They had that 20-plus game winning streak. But the 15-1 run on the road, the 11 in a row against division leaders, Gray 11-1 in his last 15 starts. It's made up. It's a video game.
I know.
Cheat code what they're doing.
So this is from OptaStats. They went from 38-48 on July 3rd to 61-51 after last night's win. It only took them 33 days to go from 10 games under 500 to 10 games over. The only teams in Major League Baseball history to do so in a shorter span. The Pirates, think about this for a second, folks. The 1978 Pirates did that in 26 days. Now that's, how long was that winning streak? And the 1916 Browns did it in 32 days. Boston, third fastest team of all time to go 10 games under 500 to 10 games over.
Yep. Staggering. Well, the other thing is, too, the White Sox are lousy on the road.
Yeah.
They're just a completely different team. Look at the home road splits there. So that's another reason to back the Red Sox.
Yeah, I guess we could say that, you're only as good as your next day starter, and Burke's been awesome. Maybe. I think it's kind of unlikely with how red hot this Red Sox team is, but maybe Burke goes there tonight and he pitches 7 innings, gives up 2 hits and he strikes out 10 because the numbers on Sean Burke going back, here you go. Since June 18th, 7 starts, 4-1 with a 1.42 ERA, 11.9 Ks per 9. Ks by game, 8, 6, 8, and more recently, 11, 9, 5, 10, and 10. So 3 double-digit K games in his last 5, and so far on the year, 9 appearances on the road, a 2.50 ERA, and 10.7 Ks per 9 for Berkey tonight.
Our Nesson fans have to help us out. He's going to have a large contingent there. He's from Sutton, Massachusetts. I don't know where that is. I've said many times I had family in Revere. I love the area there, but I don't know. I've never heard of it, but it's kind of a homecoming for him. So a lot of friends and family will be there as he's from wherever Sutton, Massachusetts is.
Very good.
Going up tonight, too. So great numbers today on a fun card and a lot going on. And how about the A's who just are inventing new ways to lose?
That was impossible last night to really
Back-to-back
lose
wild.
like that.
It just,
That's how you lost the game.
Yeah, and the Reds are $1.50 tonight as the A's are just Kurtz is hurt. They've lost 26 of 31. They're scoring 3 runs a game and giving up 7 for the ERA on a nightly basis, what they're doing.
Wow.
And good call with Detroit, too. How about the offense? Something's got to give game tonight. Wu has got a ERA under 1, last 6 at home. But Detroit scored at least 8 runs, 6 in a row. But Melton again, too, delivered.
Melton was so good last night. Since earned runs became an official stat in both leagues back in 1913, one major league pitcher has reached the following marks through their first 16 career starts. Sub-2 ERA, sub-1 whip, and 13-plus team wins. That's Melton with the Tigers now. Only pitcher Major League Baseball history since 1913 when that stat became official. So I'll explain a prop bet that I have in that game coming up a little bit later on. I'm climbing the ladder there, but I would only look at the Tigers at that plus money tonight.
14, 9, 13, 8, 11, 8. Their runs going back.
Paul, again, they've been below 500 now forever. They have one of the best run differentials in baseball, or in the American League anyway.
Yeah.
By the way, Cubs 25-1 best record at DraftKings.
All right. Thanks for that. Hall of Fame game tomorrow. And then 5 preseason games next Thursday. Book your trip to Vegas. Winner Circle Proxy, VSiN's preferred proxy service. After your required in-person registration, they handle your weekly submissions. You can make your picks from anywhere. One trip to Vegas all season long. Schedule your appointment now, winnercircleproxy.com. Winnercircleproxy.com. It's time. Football's here. Getting these contests.
Yeah. Have you bet the game tomorrow night?
No. But I think we're against one. I don't mind fading back, though.
Let's follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. We will get into the toughest and some of the easiest schedules in college football coming up next. Don't always believe what you hear.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Looking overall, Pauly, at the easiest and the most difficult schedules in college football this year, tying in, that's the first thing that I look at, of course, when it comes to NFL win totals. But the differences here between Ohio State, they're number 1 overall in the preseason poll. I don't agree with that. I think other teams are more talented overall, and they lost too much. They're certainly loaded still, again, because all they do is reload. But you look at the difference between a schedule like Ohio State and then who Texas Tech has to play this year. I mean, that's why there is a path for Texas Tech to get a super high seed in the playoffs and go on a deep run this year.
Buckeyes have a fantastic team, but you can say I'm going to bet the win total under at Texas, at Indiana, at USC, and Oregon.
Mm-hmm. That's a 3-game stretch, by the way, that they play.
Yeah, October 17th is at Indiana. The USC game is October 31st, and November 7th is Oregon. I mean, this will definitely be battle-tested and the opposite of last year with what they had to go through.
No question.
That is brutal.
Yep. And then I know here on the screen they're showing Texas Tech as we're talking about both ends of the spectrum here. And look at this now. Their win total at DraftKings is at 10.5 for 12 regular season games, juiced over at -190. That tells you everything. It's well documented on this network about how easy the schedule is overall. But again, to reconsider, they avoid BYU and Utah in conference play, the 2 other most difficult teams in that conference, and they get the most difficult teams in that league all at home. Plus, their toughest like Ohio State plays at Texas. The toughest non-conference opponent for Texas Tech this year is Oregon State. They were 2-10 last year.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's one's over here, but yet we're playing the same sport, and they're both Power 5 teams, Power 4 teams.
I like Mestamaker a lot. I think he'll have a solid NFL career. Maybe that's the one that trips them up when they go to Oklahoma State.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you they're going to going 12-0 in any league is going to be difficult. I mean, that's a very simple schedule, but I'm not betting their win total over. I'm not laying 90 cents with that. There's no way. I did bet them even money to win the conference because I think they're going to be there at the end.
Yep.
So the easiest Power 4 non-conference is Nebraska. Indiana's also in the mix because the Hoosiers do play North Texas, Howard, and Western Kentucky plays at Georgia, then Indiana. Oh, my God. But Nebraska takes the cake with Ohio, Bowling Green, and North Dakota. Now, I will ask this. ESPN wrote about this today, pointing out different parts of the schedule. They said the toughest November belongs to Oklahoma. They play at Florida. They get Ole Miss at home, A&M, and they're at Missouri. My response to that is, what if Florida, A&M, and Missouri all flop?
Right.
Which typically happens in the SEC.
Right. It's like the same crap every year with the SEC. Why is Missouri ranked?
Right.
Why are these teams ranked? Why is Tennessee ranked? Why do they lose 5 games and they're still ranked?
Right.
Something like that. So
Right.
that's the first thing you have to get straightened out, which, come on, coaches. You couldn't find a Power 6 school to put in there?
That's bad.
I mean, there's got to be somebody you can throw in there.
That's right. So then, I don't know this gentleman. I think he's probably doing this part troll. I don't know if he's really this big of a honk or not.
Why would you can't be this bad and
He's
this wrong? Would you do it intentionally, like what's going on with the Odyssey? People who haven't even seen the movie are going to tweet out erroneous stuff on purpose. I mean, what are you doing here?
Right.
Where are we at as a society? Where
I know.
I'm going to do something that I know is wrong, but do it on purpose?
I guess.
I mean, you can't be. There's wrong, and then there's what this guy did.
Yeah, there's misleading, but then there's just awful math, and you're flat out lying, basically.
Awful math, is
right?
What
Yeah. So it's, and I don't want to knock the guy again. I don't know him. His name's Peter Burns, SEC Network. Again, I think he might be doing this part troll, but part SEC honk. So when the coaches poll got released earlier this week, he quote tweeted it and said, 9 SEC schools play at least 5 of the top 25 teams in the coaches poll. But isn't that funny again, like you said? Funny how they all get stuffed into the top 25 more than any other conference. It's been a rigged game for this conference for 25 years now.
Right.
So they get the benefit of the doubt. And he pointed out not a single Big Ten team plays 5. Efficient work out of the Big Ten. And the responses are just comical. Like, did you actually take time to add up how many teams they're playing? Ohio State actually plays 6, pal. Michigan plays 6. USC plays 5. Washington plays 5. Purdue plays 5. There are more teams like that play at least 5 overall. So now we're just, I don't know, did he just miss the mark on this? Or is that what we're doing now?
He's off by 5? 5 different teams he missed?
That's the society that we live in. I'm just going to make something up blatantly right now, and I expect people to believe me.
Yep. It's a gauntlet for Ohio State. It's tough for Oregon. It's brutal for USC. Riley's 11-7 the last 2 years in the Big Ten. Their home schedule is Oregon, Washington, Ohio State. They go to Happy Valley. They go to Indiana. I don't get the top 15 stuff. There's plenty of losses there.
Sure.
The only team that works out, that gets the benefit, is Penn State, as they miss most of the big boys. In the Big Three, they don't have to play.
That's right. Another thing, by the way, side note that would drive me nuts about the rankings when you compare conferences. Again, this is going back, 15, 20, how many ever years now, a full generation at least. And Pauly, you and I have talked about this on this program before, just to alert people to how unfair it has been to other leagues. Because the SEC gets the benefit of the doubt still for some reason, and they get that many teams ranked. Well, when one team around number 25 or outside of the top 25, they pull off maybe a couple of wins against teams that also turn out to be overrated. Oh, in 2 weeks, they go from unranked to number 3 in the country. Then that same team can lose a bad game. Well, they'll drop to 5.
Yep.
Meanwhile, you'll have a preseason, like in September right away, like Oregon will play LSU in a neutral. Oregon's preseason top 3, top 4, they'll get beat by LSU top 10 team. Oregon drops to 16th. Like, I'm sorry, what? You dropped them from in the top 5 to outside the top 10, top 15? Meanwhile, an SEC team loses a game to almost anybody. Well, we'll drop them 2 spots. What are we doing here? There's no consistency whatsoever.
The king of that's Alabama.
Yeah.
When they have bad losses and hardly drop. Every win's a good win. There's no such thing as a bad loss.
That's right.
Yep. And everyone, don't get married during football. October 10th, Oklahoma plays Texas. Georgia plays Bama. USC goes to Penn State for the first time. October 17th, Ohio State, Indiana. Alabama, Tennessee. Notre Dame at BYU. Florida State, Miami. Penn State goes to the Big House.
Oh, that's pretty good back-to-back. Not too shabby.
Don't get married there.
Would you...
Or if you're skipping the wedding then.
What's a bigger mistake, getting married during football season or in March Madness?
When did you do it? Was it Elite 8 at least? Was it Final Four weekend or like a Sweet 16?
Yeah, it was Sweet 16 going into the Elite 8.
Okay. Yeah.
I lost that battle, I'll tell you that. We got married on March 27th in Southern California. It was in Malibu. But I will say this, that the first day of the Sweet 16, so that would have been the Thursday, I had a second bachelor party and we rented like an extended excursion, and we took it into the Santa Monica Pier, and we walked up and down the pier drinking and watching games there. So it was pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
Not
Good.
bad.
Yes.
But I get it.
I was reminded, apparently,
guilty.
I think I was reminded. I said I'd go to the next one regarding
right.
your wedding.
Well,
I don't remember that.
Vaquero put it at 18 months.
So horrible line. Yes.
We're closing
Way
in
off.
we're closing in on 18 years, which
Big upset.
yeah.
Good job.
Well,
You never fight. It's one of the few. Sure. I mean, only 50. I don't know why people do it. I mean, the math. 15% of marriages are successful.
I know. No, we never get into arguments at the
You're
house.
in the 15%.
Yeah.
Good for you.
We verbally agree on everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, what do we make of this? Yahoo Sports tweeted this out earlier today. The Rams will. Is this true? The Rams are going to arrive in Australia the day before their Week 1 matchup against the 49ers. They're going to take off from Melbourne immediately after the game. San Francisco is going to get there a full week before, so players and coaches can get used to the time difference. Well,
Isn't that something?
what are the Rams doing here? What are they?
Are the Niners making a mistake? I don't know. That's a good question for Chow or NFL people, or even our guy Steve Cohen. Who's making the mistake there?
I think the Rams are.
Do you?
Oh man,
Probably.
So
I would
how do
agree.
you
How
possibly?
long is that flight?
Oh, it's got to be
Is it 18 hours?
16, 18 hours. My guess is from the West Coast.
The day
Yeah,
before, and leave immediately after the game. I would say bad move by the Rams, yes.
That's
the other
that's
thing
my
is,
got. Yeah,
Well, the other thing is, can the 49ers have enough guys to play the game?
yeah, right, right. I wonder. So my parody account, Mitchie, he is a world traveler, and he almost travels for like a living. He would know. He would be great to ask about this. I bet. If you're listening out there, let me know your thoughts on this.
He's awesome at top airports.
Oh, tremendous. He knows everything about the game, right?
Yeah.
So, again, I've only traveled once in my life to another country. It was to Italy. Paul, I am one of the world's worst sleepers. Never slept on the plane. Got to the hotel the next day. I've been up for who knows how many hours in a row. We check in. I snooze in the lobby. I couldn't help it anymore. I fell asleep in the lobby. They woke me up. Sir, your room's ready. We go to the room. I went to bed at about midnight. I did not wake up until I slept straight through until noon. I woke up. I'm like, it's noon? I haven't slept 12 hours in my life.
You're one of those guys can't sleep on the plane?
I could
Dream water.
I could
They
fly
sell it right here in a gift shop.
I could fly around the world 9 times in a row and I wouldn't get 2 seconds of sleep.
That's a bad beat.
It's horrible. Jeff Sealey next. He nailed Jackson Koivin 2 weeks ago at the 3M. Couldn't join us last week. We'll get his breakdown with best bets for the Wyndham Championship coming up next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
All right, the Wyndham Championship is this week on the PGA Tour. We'll get some analysis, breakdown here, best bets as we go out to the progressive guest line. Our buddy Jeff Sealey joins the program now. Follow him on X at Cupmaker Jeff. He is doing a live Spaces on X tonight talking about this tournament. The last time you came on the program, you tipped off Jackson Koivin. He was, 37-1 to win in that range to win the 3M. A belated congratulations, man. That was awesome. You couldn't join us last week because of travel purposes, but great call on a kid that's probably going to be a rock star sooner than later here.
Yeah, there's no doubt, guys. And you know, it's funny. I was looking at this board and looking at Cam Young being plus 800 or so. And I asked myself, I said, is he the best player in the field? And the majority would answer yes. And my answer to myself was, well, really, maybe. I mean, the odds board and the respect that's been shown to Koivin now shows you just how talented the kid is. Maybe, and he may be the most talented player in the field. Not the most experienced, but he may be the most talented. And I'm sure that he's got his eye on making the playoffs now. Going to need 2 strong finishes, but you can find him top 20 at almost even money on DraftKings right now in the ties pay full market. And I think that's he's worth looking at again this week. I mean, I think he's going to compete. And again, just a course where it's pretty straightforward. The problem is when it's this short, it brings a lot of people into play. So it's tough to bet a guy too short odds, but I do like him top 20 a lot this week.
How short do you want to go?
Honestly, that's probably on his outright. I'll have a little bit on his outright, but that's probably the shortest I'm going to go. I'm not going to play Cam Young at plus 830. I think that's too short. So I'm going to play a little bit of Koivin. I'm going to play him top 20, but I do like Ben Griffin 27-1 or so, guys. When you look at total course comps, including course history here, Hideki comes in at number 4 overall, but I don't like his putting at all, so that has me off Hideki, and really looking at Ben Griffin as the other guy besides Koivin in this range. So over the last 2 years, Griffin's been 5th on approach and 10th in putting here at Sedgefield in comp courses. So his specific results here have been 4th, 7th, 11th in a missed cut over the last 4 years. Played very well here, gaining an average of 4 strokes around and 2.5 strokes putting at this course. So he's not priced lower this week because his form's been all over the place. His last 10 events, his 4 finishes inside the top 14 and 4 outside the top 50. So pretty mixed bag, but I think that's giving us a decent discount this week. So I played him my biggest way. I played Griffin. I played him top 20 plus 120 or so. And then some little on the outright, but I do like Ben Griffin this week.
Okay. Yeah, he's also come down a little bit. He is popular this week, but it all makes sense, obviously. Okay, so that's where you're going to basically start it in the outrights, and then you want to kind of trickle down the board a little bit. You're not taking anybody else in the 20 or 30s. You're going to go with a guy in the 40s, and who is what the portfolio starts where then?
Yeah, so Keegan Bradley you can find him in the 40s right now, and when you play Keegan Bradley, you know you're in for a ride, but undeniably his irons are just absolutely on fire, guys. Gained on approach in 9 straight events, and in a time that, in that time he's gained an average of 3 strokes around on the field. So what makes that set more incredible? The 3 of those were majors. So now the real question, has it translated in results? The truth is it hasn't translated into great results, largely due to his driver, which he can keep in the bag this week, and his putter, which unfortunately he can't. So I think a top 20 out of Keegan's a really interesting ask. I think, as last night events, he has 4 top 20s, and we're getting the plus 160, plus 170 in the top 20 market. So that's another way I'm going to look at him. I'm going to have a little bit on the outright if I'm Keegan, but my biggest way I'm going to play him is top 20. And a guy who I do like better in the outright market, JT Poston. You can find him at 60-1 or so, and he's interesting for a number of reasons. A lot of the Sims like him because of his course history. Played this course over 9 times in the last 9 years. Has a win, a T7, and a T11 last year to go with 4 missed cuts. So his range of outcomes has been pretty wide, hence the price. But every time he's played here, he's gained at least a combined 8 strokes with his irons and putter. He's been playing great golf in early June. If this had been in early June, he'd be closer to 40-1. You can find him at 60 on DraftKings. What I like about him is this is a guy who won less than 2 months ago, who took 4th at the U.S. Open a month and a half ago, and a guy who has won this event. And we're getting all that at 60-1. I think the best way to play him, though, guys, is in the each-way markets if you can. I played him each way top 10 at 50-1 at Bet365. If you can't find that, then I would bet him outright, and then I would bet him top 10 as well.
Good enough. Follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, Jeff Sealey. Follow him on X. He's having a Twitter Spaces tonight, or X Spaces. He's at Cummaker Jeff. He's on the Progressive Guest Line. Okay, so then a very intriguing card, by the way, and I like how you're almost like being careful this week and picking your spots with different placements for these guys. But then we can open it up a little bit to some bombs here, and based on how this course plays out, who you think might have a chance to pull off something miraculous here in an outright, and who do you want to go like in triple digits?
Yeah, guys, Matt McCarty is 110-1 this week, and the reason is his form sucks. I mean, he's missed 5 of his last 8 cuts, lost off the tee in 10 straight events. That's why he's 110-1. But if you zoom out a little, we find a guy who had a stretch from April and May where he had 4 straight top 12 finishes and who finished T24 at the Masters this year. So the guy absolutely has game. When we look at Sedgefield and comp courses over the past 2 years, the number 2 guy behind Cam Young is Matt McCarty. Number 14th in those courses, tee to green, and number 1 in putting. Those are critically important stats this week. So when you add in history at this course, and yes, he's only played it once, but he finished T8 here last year, gaining 6 strokes tee to green and 4 strokes putting. So my biggest way I'm going to play him, on DraftKings, he's 2-1 in the top 30 market, which is phenomenal. but I'm also going to play him in the each-way market, each-way top 10 at 80-1. So, again, if you don't have the each-way markets, I'd play a little on the outright and play him top 10. But my biggest way to play him, I think, is top 30 on DraftKings at 2-1. And then, guys, here's a real kind of bomb. Brian Campbell, you can find as high as 400-1 this week. And while I don't think he's going to win, he makes for an interesting play at this obscene number purely based on the fact that this is an extremely short course. He does not hit it a long way. And he gained a crazy 9 shots on approach last week.
Wow.
So he's normally solid around the greens. He lost there last week. So I look for a potential bounce-back spot there. And if he can keep this red-hot iron play going one more week, he's certainly live for a top 40 spot. And at plus 320 on DraftKings top 40, again, ties pay full there. I think it's definitely a gamble worth taking on a guy who, obviously, his irons were hot last week. If you can do that here, you can contend.
All right.
Very good.
You're going to the game tomorrow. The Fever play the Aces. The total's 195. They've scored 100 points 6 games in a row. They're number one in offensive rating and 96 points per game. They've won 5 of 6. I don't know about the defense, though. Can they guard people come playoff time?
Well, no, and I think that's the problem. They're going to have to do something to play better defense. But you're right; they're very entertaining in that they score a ton. The futures market in these guys, you guys know, I've been kind of adding shares to them as the season goes on. And they started the year as low as 5-1, and a few weeks ago they were as high as 19 to 20-1. Now in most places that you see them around that 10 to 11 spot. But they're really interesting. And I don't know if they can beat Minnesota in a series, but they would probably need someone else to take out Minnesota to make that run. But I do think they have the best backcourt in the league. I mean, certainly they average of 50 points a game between the two of them. They certainly have the most eyeballs. And, the question is, and after that, can the league get out of their own way and helping their best product get to the finals? I don't know. We'll see. But it's certainly going to be interesting. It's not boring. And, boy, what a total tomorrow night. It should be a really fun game. I'm looking forward to that.
Crazy. Here, I think, would be the one recipe against Minnesota, because watching that entire game over the weekend, like, this happens a lot defensively for the Fever. They give up so many easy looks down low. Like, we're talking about uncontested layups for the opposing team. Okay. But they also want to play super fast to give that kind of stuff up. Minnesota also hit, like, the shot making for the Lynx in that game was kind of off the charts. They were phenomenal. Well, what if in a series they're just not going in? They're rattling in and out, and that's off the back of the iron, and then they can stop them and limit them on the offensive glass. That would be the recipe, I think, to actually, in a 5-game series, that's how you would have to, I think, break it down and have get that victory go your way.
Well, and I think the Fever can trade a lot of 3s for 2s, right? Between Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark, they can hit 3s. I mean, better than anyone backcourt wise. And then you bring Sophie Cunningham off the bench, who's a very good 3-point shooter. I think then it gives them a great opportunity. So yeah, I mean, anytime you can hit the 3 ball that well, and if you can just get a few stops to your point and get a little lucky, I think you can compete. So I hope they get the opportunity. I've got a ton of futures on them, and it'll make for a lot more interesting fall if they do.
Follow him on X at Cutmaker Jeff. Thanks, pal. We appreciate it. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks, fellas. Take care.
He's right. Not only have they scooted up the whole time with Caitlin Clark, but I'll tell you this: her teammate Mitchell. Is she the most underrated player in the league? She's rarely, if ever, mentioned outside of like WNBA circles.
Yeah,
like how good she is.
The playoffs are going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I know the Lynx are good, but these, Atlanta's playing well. The Aces, the champs, and the Fever can score like we just talked about.
Yeah. Win, lose up next. A college football team is offering something extremely exciting and creative for their fan base. I love it, but cannot wait to bet against them.
Win Some, Lose Some is sponsored by the Sharp Plays.
Were you a winner last night? Wow, winning. Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser!
Pauly Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
Insane move on the Phillies. It was correct. No problem. 230 up to 350. They win with another shutout. They lead MLB with 15 on the season. Braves 140 up to 175. Ice cream. Red Sox 130 up to 160. Yankees 170 up to 210. All winners, and the Cubs plus 170. Most runs, Red Sox 20-1. The daily specials, Abreu 2 bombs, 60-1. One game in the WNBA, and of course it went over. Blindly betting WNBA games going back 25-8 overrun, 43-15. No Golden State games. They're scoring 95 now, although Toronto doesn't guard anybody.
Right.
But 4 good games coming up on the card, which we'll hit coming up. Be part of the show. Subscribe. VSiN.com. Our radio and podcast friends at Pauly Does Vegas on Instagram. Send them in. We'll put you on. This is great. We showed Edward the other day, who goes to the ice cream truck all the time. Dog goes out, grabs the newspaper every day. Goes out, got 2 of them. And grabs them on about his business. Comes in.
Takes his buddy, goes to get the newspaper, brings them both back at the same time.
Look at that. I always got the toy. That's great. Good job by the dog. There's another one, too, where he goes out with the mailman, too. Those are excellent. This was a great tweet you sent over, and I wish I had done this growing up, and especially in college. These young guys, when they were younger, they'd come out to Vegas, and they had a plan in a contest. If you got rejected 5 times by a girl, the friends would chip in and pay for your room and drinks.
Yep.
Embrace rejection.
Yes.
What's the worst thing that can happen? She's going to say no? Go up to everyone. Don't be afraid. We're in Vegas. Let's live. Who cares if she says no? You're never going to see her again. They made a game out of it.
It's an unbelievable way to help like people who are shy,
right?
Who do not want to be rejected.
That is a high number, too. Fear of rejection,
oh
or
my God,
don't want to go up to her.
No question.
Or intimidated if she's beautiful, whatever.
But that's that kind of, I guess, brotherhood is an incredible way just to like remain friends for the rest of your lives.
Excellent job.
Yep.
They were in the poker community. They'd come out here all the time with the World Series of Poker. Lose some, the A's have lost 32 of 41 and 26 of 31 after they lost again with back-to-back wild pitches. How about a lose some here, Luke? Any way you want to go. You can put the dog up, or look at this. Every day the dog goes up, gets some ice. What happened? Why isn't the ice coming? He's on the refrigerator. They shut the ice cube, took him off on him. Locked it on him. No ice cubes.
No.
Look at him. Jumps up every day, trying to get some ice cubes, pushing it with his paw. Nothing coming out. They shut him off. They shut him down.
Playing tricks on him here.
I know. It's like, what's going on? He's hitting it over and over again. No good. And I retweeted this earlier. This guy's a good follow at Super 70 Sports. You go out. Hey, I won't be in today, boss. Oh, you sick? No, I got Tommy John surgery. You're an accountant. I don't want to talk about it.
Sure.
The high pitch, guess your speed game.
Yeah.
I did this at Old County Stadium. The brats exceeded my expectations.
Very good.
And they had this, and I think I threw 75. My arm was sore for a week. I'm trying to throw as hard as I can playing that stupid game at the ballpark.
I always question the radar gun on these things because there was a football machine. It was at a fair, and this is like not 100 years ago. It's like probably in the last 10 years. My mom was with me, right? So I'm gunning these footballs in as fast as I possibly can, and it kept popping up like 29 miles an hour. I'm like, there is no chance I'm throwing this 29. I'm throwing it way harder than 29. There's got to be something wrong. My mom comes over. She lobs one in, like almost under, just 29 miles an hour. I'm like, okay, yeah, the guns are off, I think, a little bit here today.
There it is. Okay. Very good. And we got an email on this. We talked about it. I think we were out, ftm@vsin.com. But they always come in on various things. A guy says he is 0 for his last 10, letting people in and not getting the thank you wave.
Doesn't get the thank you.
He's 0 for his last 10, he said. Can't get I appreciate it. Thanks for letting me in. Can't get the wave.
That's funny. I did not see that email. I'm hovering around 50% last, shy of 10 tries.
What's worse, that or you're not getting the thank you for holding the door?
I never got the thank you at all. And it was a couple. It was an older man and a woman. By older, I mean probably late 50s, early 60s. I got nothing from either one of them, and I really wanted to call them out, but I didn't.
Couldn't get it. No.
I think I was in a hurry that day.
Get it. Bad beat. Rockies plus 130. Led 7-5 in the ninth. They blow it. Not only Tampa wins, cover the run line as well.
What kind of a person are you to not thank somebody for holding the door?
Psychotic. Lock them up. 12-step program at least. Football season almost here. Can't wait for tomorrow. 5 games next Thursday. Sharp money already moving. Here's how the Sharp Play sees it first. Thousands of sharp bettors and pro syndicates tracked in real time before the market moves. All of it filtered and sorted by version 6.0 of their AI model. That's the machine and the receipts, every play logged, result public. Records go back to 2011. No one else in the industry runs one. They get audited daily by their own haters. No steam chasing, no stale trends, no recycled plays. Follow the Sharp Money at sharpplays.com. Look for the daily Mr. Poison tweets as well. Get the Telegram, get it all. Jeff and the crew are excellent. Been with us since day one. Support them. They support us. Sharpplays.com.
Paul, if you lived near the University of Akron and you were going back and forth on whether or not you should get season tickets this year to watch the Zips play football, would this get your attention to the point of where you would absolutely sign up? They tweeted out yesterday, make history and be the lucky season ticket holder to design the opening drive of our home opener when we host Robert Morris. So that is correct. If you sign up, they're going to draw one lucky person.
Oh, that's great.
Who is going to work with head coach Joe Moorhead to help design the opening plays of their game, kind of be the pseudo offensive coordinator when they take on Robert Morris.
Now, I've heard before of you can call a play.
Right.
Or you can say, hey, what's the first play of the game? What do you want to run? We'll do it. But to say, I'm going to do the entire drive to start and what you have a script in the plays.
Right. So
that's as good as it gets.
If they select me, I am losing sleep. And I understand that I'm going to be working with Moorhead and my plays are probably going to go nowhere, but I'm losing sleep designing plays and coming up with
Trick plays,
some creative stuff.
Gadget.
Also,
yes.
If I'm Robert Morris, I mean, like, yeah, you're going to take us this lightly. You're Akron. I get it. But you're Akron. Yeah. Who are you?
I know. But sure, that's fair. That's a good comeback. But we were part of this too. We used to have a local arena football league team, and I got to play in a game, and they gave me the end around on the first drive, and that stuff like that to just say, and they were going to throw it to me too, but we already scored a touchdown. But
shaky hands too from you.
No, good, and then drop one pass in 2 practices. But that's great stuff. But I like the comeback too about who. This is kind of bulletin board material. You think it's going to be that easy for
now,
you?
Will it matter again?
Some guy going to drop the plays?
Yeah. So I'm sitting here telling you, the Akron Zips have been one of maybe the worst program, like in whatever. So maybe they can do whatever they want against Robert Morris, but I kind of want to tune in now. And I also want to bet against Akron's first drive somehow.
What would you do?
Like
leaf flicker?
Oh, I would, well, I don't know yet. I would,
Statue of Liberty?
This is something that my buddies and I in study hall in high school, we would explain to the person in charge. That's a home run by the Blue Jays, by the way. Oh my God.
Wow.
That's Albert Pujols off Brad Lidge.
Yeah.
That is a moonshot from a big earn.
Yeah.
And now the Blue Jays out in front 5-3, top of the 10th. So we would go sit next to each other in study hall and just design plays on paper to see what the other person would come up with defensively. And it was great. And I swear to God, if we put our brains together back then, we could have been good at that. To be like an offensive coordinator for a high school team or for whatever level.
Yeah, you always got creative in Tecmo Bowl too. Mm-hmm. Drawing up the plays, making your playbook. That's where it all started. Houston Oilers, I couldn't be stopped. I challenged people. You can't beat me in Tecmo Bowl. I'm the Oilers.
Well, which Tecmo Bowl?
The first one.
You're talking about?
Super Tecmo Bowl.
That's got to be Super Tecmo Bowl.
You got that. Haywood Jeffries, Drew Hill, Warren Moon.
Yeah. The short passing game.
Right.
It was phenomenal.
You couldn't stop the sideline pass either.
No,
bomb.
On the original Tecmo Bowl, you had no chance against me with the 49ers. Even when you picked
Jerry Rice,
even when you picked the right call, I knew exactly when to throw the ball where it couldn't be picked off. That's how often I played the game. But also, for people, we actually would play tournaments, and we would tell people that you could not take the Raiders.
Oh, because of Bo?
Because the Bo Jackson play was it was illegal.
Yep.
It was going to be basically an automatic touchdown.
That was fun.
I also... I don't know if I would do it anymore because I doubt...
You could block every kick with Lawrence Taylor.
That's right. Every single time. Yep. I always wanted to buy that. Did you ever play the Tecmo Bowl stand-up arcade game? Going back...
No.
Oh, my God. They had that where I grew up in. I always wanted to find one of those and buy one for my house, but I could never find one that looked like it was actually in good shape anywhere.
I'm sure, yeah.
I'm sure.
You got Pac-Man, though. Pac-Man's a great gift.
Yeah, Pac-Man's good.
Love Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Miss Pac-Man.
Yeah, Miss Pac-Man. That's the play right there.
Yes.
Yep. All right.
7-1 Cubs. Sky is falling. Martin Gale, the Dodgers now? They're not going to lose 10 in a row, are they?
can't happen, Paul.
No,
Right?
this can't continue.
We'll expand on today's Major League Baseball card coming up next. 1K prop projection at VSiN really caught my eye for a pitcher taking the bump tonight. So I got nuts, had some guts by laddering him. I'll tell you who that is and why coming up next.